gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the ESR and Friends MX5 Championship Round 8 and finale round, I believe. At the Circuit de Charade.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty gangster.
I believe this is our first visit here.
With no commentary, it says here. Interesting. I am very attractive.
Hey,
and not
it's
as think
Timo.
as you drunk I am. With me, as always, is the man who puts the whammy in the wham wham wazzle, Malcolm Magus.
Thank you. We got Timo Konecki on the track. We have not seen him in ages, so welcome.
He's been in jail.
You're welcome. Well, I hope not. This is the first time I've ever seen this track race, so this will be just interesting on that one. Looks like it's pretty long, almost a 2-minute lap. Tobias Thierolf there on pole with a 1 minute 56.445, and we know Tobias is fast. So that's a good time. Championship deciding round. And although, unfortunately, we already have a champion. Tobias Thierolf locked it up last round. He's got the trophy. He's bogarting it in his trophy case. And there's not much else to talk about there. There is a fight for second place, though. So we do have a second place up for grabs. And it's between, coming in today, Leandro Carroll, Martin Edmonds, Laissez-Passer, and Andrew D. Any of these 4 individuals can still finish in second place. So good fight there, at least. 3 individuals. No, 4. I'm right. Tobias Thierolf on pole from Leandro Carroll. Josiah Giron, still sporting the Aruba flag. Max Simmons, Magic Kaszczuk, Martin Edmonds, Serge Hendricks, Andy Darnell, Sean Zulu, Andrew D., Steve Davidson, James Butler, Dennis Johnson, Fotis Zizulu, Bertrand Barrier down in 15th place. That is weird. It's legitimately weird. Adam Komorowski, Jeb Sparks, Scott Nick, Mauricio Delgado, Takamaru Yuka, Andy Foster. Hey Byron, do you see Laissez-Passer's name anywhere? Is he?
No. Perhaps he is not quifflied.
All right. Well, there goes his hopes for second place at the championship.
He is. I feel as though he just received his disassociate's degree and has been disqualified.
Although it should be said, there is at least one car that did not post a lap time because you're seeing Konecki down in 22nd place. So maybe he is here and he just didn't get a lap in. Perhaps. Let us look at the rules real quick here for this round. So this will be a 45-minute race around the Grand Prix layout of Circuit de Charade. It will be... Is there a pit stop? Mandatory pit stop? Car setup is fixed. No mandatory pit stop. All right, so just 45 minutes straight. Here we go. And we roll. With a 100 incident point limit. We haven't actually seen someone run afoul of the incident point limit, which is good, because 100 incident points is a lot to pick up. But there you go. So Byron, you looking forward to anything about this round? You got anyone you're looking forward to seeing charge through the field maybe?
I think I lent Mauricio one of my shotguns. I think it's going to be interesting.
Oh, that'll be very interesting.
He may use it just to lay pickles and slices of sausage on, but no, you never know.
There's Leandro Carroll, who's looking for that second place here today. We'll see what he can do. Starting on the front row. Very interesting circuit we got here. A lot of uphill sections. A lot of potential for interesting driving, shall we say. And gonna be a fun time.
The worst.
So we come into today with Tobias Thierolf looking to win his 6th consecutive race in this series. He's won 5 straight, dating back to round 5 at Assen, and then he won the doubleheader at Suzuka and the doubleheader at Sonoma. So he's got 5 in a row. He's got 8 wins total. The other wins are Andrew D., Max Simmons, and Henrik Andreasen, and Dylan DaCosta. They each have 1. So we'll see what they can do. And in the Teams Championship, it is still a pretty good battle between the Classic Manatees and the Enchanted Grasshoppers. So the Manatees are Carroll and Davidson. The Grasshoppers are Thierolf and Johnson. They can both win the championship still. So that'll be interesting.
What about the bus?
I like that there is one team called Last Place Racing. That's setting your sights really high.
Well, you gotta monitor and manage expectations, and anything beyond last place. I mean, you're doing good. Just gotta go with the Scotty technique. You under promise and over deliver. Yeah, get him, Josiah.
It's a fair point.
Do break stand.
Here we go. Setting up the grid here, getting ready to roll here in France. I understand this used to be the home of the French Grand Prix, but it was before my time of watching Formula One. Because the only two homes the French Grand Prix has had during my experience watching F1 is Magny-Cours and Paul Ricard.
What about... Wait, did you say Ricard?
Ricard.
Okay, just wanted to make sure. Let's get Ricarded in here.
There's not a ton of tracks that get to host F1 races, if you think about it. Most Grand Prix have had like a single home their entire existence. A couple have had a bunch. The U.S. Grand Prix has probably got the most. It's been in Long Beach, Dallas, Detroit, Indianapolis, tons. Here we go. 22 cars by the looks of things. And interesting, we got a 3-wide. Oh, no, it's an offset grid. Okay. That's weird. You do not see that much anymore. But anyways, Tobias Thierolf is out in the lead. Leandro Carroll in second place. On the inside is one of the maroon-colored cars. Is that Josiah Jerome? Might be. Going side by side. Yep, it is Josiah Jerome. Max Simmons in fourth place. Martin Edmonds in fifth. Followed by Magic Kazchuk and Serge Hendricks. James Butler going side by side with Steve Davidson. Those two have had a potent rivalry. And Butler's going to come out ahead on this occasion. Dennis Johnson in 13th place in the 8-bit livery. Further back, it's Barrier up one spot. And 4 spots for Timo Konecki, who started from 22nd place. He's up to 18th. Very nice. Komorowski, I think, started from the pit lane. He's down 6 spots. On board with Josiah Jerome, but we switch over to Sean Zulu battling with Andrew D over 9th position. And also in the mix there is Butler. And you can never invite James Butler to a 3-way party and expect him to take a no on that answer. He's very eager. Max Simmons going for third again, up the inside of the hairpin there. But Josiah Jerome battling back. The battle of the two young studs of the ESR developmental system. Martin Edmonds in fifth. Looking for second place in the championship, but I think right this second, Leandro Carroll would still have it.
Please send help. I'm being attacked by a goose.
You're being attacked by the goose? I figured the goose was the source of your silence.
He's been climbing in and or on my face. And you wouldn't have been able to hear what I had to say anyway.
He's an adventurous mountaineering cat.
He woke me up this morning by repeatedly headbutting me right in the face.
They'll do that.
It was at 4 a.m, though.
Yeah, like I said, they'll do that.
I'm going to start headbutting him back.
That'd be a treat. Dennis Johnson's up into 10th place. He's made his way through the crowd nicely. Sean Zulu's fallen to dead last. Not sure what happened to him, but he was battling for a top 10 spot. Now he is not. So that is not... this is not a good sign. Okay. He's down 13 spots. Konecki's up 7. I know he didn't qualify, and that was the only reason he started 22nd, but he is ripping through there. Andy Foster falling to the back of the pack. Mauricio Delgado continuing to abuse track limits. Please slow down.
Do not. Go faster. Then they can't catch you. Mauricio, you abusive son of a
Well, then you get the black flag. That's not so good.
Wow. Only if you are not going the speed of light, because otherwise you would be going the speed of dark, and then the black flag applies.
No, the black flag applies even at the speed of light.
The black flag applies only if you're not listening to black flag.
Okay.
As long as you're listening to black flag, legally there's nothing they can do.
I feel like listening to music in sim racing would be like a really bad idea as Bertrand Barrier spins around.
I think it would be the only idea. Ow, son of a bitch, cat.
What'd he do?
He just sank every fucking nail he had on every paw into my shoulder so he could stand up and turn around.
I'm turning around now.
I just reflexively hit the fucking press to talk without thinking. And now I'm trying to speak through his body.
I am joined on commentary by Goose.
Son of a bitch.
He has taken the Byron spot. Adam Komarowski on the attack against Scott Nick. Battle for 17th position between the two Americans. Komarowski on the inside there. Nick will keep the spot though.
Cat, I don't know if you know this, but you're adopted.
No, really? You've destroyed the Goose's entire view of himself.
Childhood ruined. He's not even a year old yet.
He's like, what, 10 months?
Somewhere in there. We're not really sure, because he was a rescue.
Yeah, same deal with my sister's dog. We don't know how old either of them are.
I'm just chalking it up to he was probably born in September.
Oh, Mauricio Delgado down the inside of
Mauricio.
Zizoglu.
Yeah, go Mauricio.
He overtook Zizoglu there. I need more of that battle. I like Zizoglu's name, and I of course enjoy Mauricio greatly. So that feels like where I want the camera to be. If we can arrange that, we'll see.
Josiah Jerome coming in with the spiked hubcaps.
Serge Hendrick. Oh no, that's Zizoglu under attack from Scott Nick. So Zizoglu seems to be not having the pace right now. He seems to be sliding backwards. Lost out to Delgado. Now he's got Zoglu or Nick and Komarowski right on his tail, as well as Taka. So he's in trouble. Martin Edmonds getting a slowdown penalty. There he is, Scott Nick in the U.S. Army car.
Back in the USSR.
Looking to make an overtake of the sword car of Fotis Zoglu for 16th place.
Just wait until somebody whips
Adam Komarowski making it. Oh God, Adam. That's aggressive, but it worked. He got them both. Nope, he only got Scott Nick.
Negative Ghost Rider.
That was a hell of a move by Adam Komarowski. Almost got 2 cars for the price of 1, but he ends up just getting Scott Nick and is still behind Zizoglu. Risky, but not reckless. I think that's the important distinction. Although he did apparently pick up a track cut penalty, so maybe a little rude. Josiah Jerome still knocking on the podium there against Max. Has he had a podium in this series? I feel like he must have.
He's had 17.
Josiah, maybe not. I'm having to scroll way down on the... Yeah, no, this is his first race. Okay, never mind. There you go.
He has placed both second and third in every single race.
The answer is no. He hasn't raced in this series. The answer is no. Scott Nick overtaking Zoglu there for 17th place. And at the back there, one of the banana cars is caught up to the back, and that is Sean Zulu trying to make his way back through the field. He's overtaken Andy Foster and Bertrand. Foster is way back, so he is not having a good day. Can't even see his car in this shot. He is, and you don't normally see that. Andy Foster is a quality driver, so to see him this off the pace is very unusual. On board with Scott Nick. On the tail of Adam Komorowski, who kind of cheekily overtook him by using Zizoglu as kind of a roadblock. And Zizoglu under attack from Zulu, who's gotten past Taka already. Barrier is going to be next up to try to take over the Japanese-Canadian driver, or Canadian-Japanese driver. I'm not sure which way this is going.
Sir Hendrik X, you are abusive.
Andy Darnell, by the way, is up into 7th place, so Kazchuk's fallen another spot. He's having a rough day. He's in 8th place, but he started in 5th. Zulu is just like, get out of my way, sir! And the Greek driver is not having it. Zizoglu hanging on to 17th place, at least for now. The inside line is going to go to Zulu, and he's got it, or 18th place, pardon me. And he's going to be ahead. Oh, Lord! Mr. Zizoglu, that is not the track, sir. That is not the track.
Correct.
Martin Edmonds is on the tail of Josiah Jerome, the battle of one of the older drivers in the field versus perhaps the youngest. Also, shout out to Andrew D using the direct drive wheel that the ESR community has provided him. Very nice. Another touching tribute. As someone who has received that generosity before, I appreciate the community and the work that you guys do. Martin Edmonds still on the tail. And in the background there it is Serge Hendricks, who's got a little breathing space now. Courtesy of Kazchuk getting overtaken by Andy Darnell. I must be thinking of the mid-engine duel series that we do live commentary on for Josiah's results. Because I was entirely certain we'd seen him in these MXs, and apparently that is not the case.
It's because he's a giant slacker.
Oh, I don't think so. He's working like 2 jobs right now, and he's in school.
2 jobs?
He's hustling.
Well, that means you got time for 3 jobs.
He's embracing the grind, sir.
Gross. Don't embrace the grind. Embrace whatever gets you the most money with the least amount of effort.
Yeah, but a lot of the time, money requires effort.
Well, yeah, but just minimize how much that is.
It's not so much that. It's just also like if you could find something that you really, really enjoy doing and you can get paid for it. Ooh, there you go. That's the deal. And that you don't mind doing like rhetoric work. Like I tried being a coder for a bit. That did not go well. I enjoy coding. I really do. But as a job, no. That's a negative. We've lost Bertrand Barrier from the field. Down to 21 cars. With 30 plus minutes to go here at Circuit de Charade. So I think the only French driver, the only hometown driver is out of the race. Closest thing we have to a Frenchman now is Martin.
Well, I mean, James Butler's pretty close.
I feel like James Butler will call you out for a duel on that, sir.
I mean, geographically.
He will demand satisfaction.
What about your boy, Sir Hendrik X?
I think he's in the States.
That's not what that flag says.
No, I know he's got the Dutch flag, but I believe he resides in the States.
You would think that.
Not everybody's flag represents where they currently live. I give you Josiah Jerome, for example.
I was led to believe that Sir Josiah just lives on all the islands at once.
I used to run under the Serbian flag, but I've stopped doing that.
Since you're actually Montenegrin?
No. Serbian-Croatian mix. Born in Serbia, but It's more that I just cannot exactly agree with anything that my home country is doing right now.
I thought you were born in Slurmia. That's why you look like Slims
Slurm.
McKenzie.
Oh. Yeah,
What with
party,
your lack of
party.
what with your lack of legs and all?
Oh, you're making me sad. Making me sad. I have legs. They just don't work properly.
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, it's more of a Lieutenant Dan situation than a Slurms McKenzie situation.
We'll get you into the next Berkeley breathed graphic novel. It will be titled
Side-by-side
"A Wish for
action
Legs That Work."
between Zulu and Scott Nick. We'll see if the... I know we worked out what that flag was before, but do we remember what that flag is? That Zulu races under there?
I do not.
Yeah.
I believe it's American. The real secret America no one knows about.
See here, I'm just going to pull up an African map flag table here and see. Oh, there it is. Zambia.
Zambia. Is that spelled with an X?
I knew it started with a Z, but I didn't remember. I knew it wasn't Zimbabwe, but there are a couple other options. Because I know what the Zimbabwe flag looks like because of Axel Jeffries.
What about Axl Rose?
Well, he wouldn't help me with that. Axel Jeffries is the race car driver that races under his Zimbabwean license. I don't think he is. I forget what the deal with him is.
Because it's either Zimbabwe or the highway, baby.
Looking it up now. Axel Jeffries, who's a little white looking to be from Zimbabwe. Yeah, born in the United Kingdom. Slow England. United Kingdom.
Oh my goodness.
Professional race car driver, senior race instructor at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. Currently holds the Nürburgring Nordschleife record for the GT3 class. Interesting. Okay. What is his connection? Doesn't say. Doesn't say what the deal with the Zimbabwe flag is.
I believe it proclaims the heritage of Germany. I don't know.
I imagine his one, if not both, of his parents are from Zimbabwe. That's probably the deal. It's kind of like the whole Ed Jones being from Dubai, races under a Dubai flag, and it's like, my dude, your name is Ed Jones.
It's Mike Jones.
On board with Dennis Johnson, who is on the tail of Andrew D, as well as Magic Cash Chuck, and there's Andy Darnell up ahead. And also in this queue is James Butler in the blue and silver car. These guys are fighting for 7th down to 11th right now. They are well clear of Steve Davidson in 12th place. Loneliest man on the track is Taka Mariuka, by the way. 3 seconds behind and 8 seconds ahead of the next car.
Dang.
He's kind of just circulating. Andy Foster as well, but Foster's at the back. I still think I want to get a camera on Foster's car because I have to assume he's got damage. I'm just not used to seeing Andy Foster. 1, in last place, just period, and 2, just seeming to have like no pace. So I assume there's got to be something wrong with the car. Either that or he's having some real life aggro issues.
I believe his transistor misfired and he is experiencing cock and ball torture. Because he hooked up his sim wrong.
Worst case of aggro I have ever seen. I was watching. I was in the endurance race, but I wasn't driving at the time that this occurred. As Dennis Johnson looks down the inside, we'll kind of wait for these two battles to kind of pacify a little bit here before I get into this. But I feel like you guys will enjoy the story. Johnson is held off.
Endurance?
Butler was trying to get a 3 wide going there again. Anyways, I was in an endurance race, but I was in my section of out of the car time. So I was watching somebody else who was in the endurance races stream. And apparently, he lived with his brother. And his brother had been bugging him all day to do something in the garden, apparently. And at some point during the race, he just hucks a bucket at him. And it hits him in the head. Like, that is the greatest example of real-life aggro during sim racing I've ever seen. I don't even know what the guy... I don't even know what he wanted. He said at some point, but, like, I don't remember what it was. But it's just, like, random. Here he is driving in, like, 7th place in the race, and then bucket. It is important to inform your friends and family when you are sim racing how long you'll be on, and you can generally avoid these problems. At least I could. My mom had no problem when I was in high school me doing gaming, as long as I gave her a solid, like, we're going to be done by this time. That was all that was required.
And then he played 72 more, one more games.
I've never been a guy like that.
Lies.
No, not really.
Horrendous lies. I remember multiple times pushing off commentary by a day because you just wanted to play one more game of Sim Warrior or whatever the fuck.
No, it was never one more game. It was
No,
just
never was one
somebody
more.
was
Never.
in. Somebody wanted to play.
Sure. Hey, let's do commentary at this time. Oh, I just want to play one more game. Several days later. How many more one more games?
It's
Oh,
never
just one more.
Never one more game.
It's like the Pringles of fucking video games.
I will say, like, one more, like, achievement, i.e. when I'm playing MechWarrior Online, it's like one more double. But, like, you gotta get that double. Like, that could be one game, that could be 20. Like, it just might be cursed. There's a mech I'm working on right now. It's a Night Gear G variant that I cannot win in. And it's not that, like, I can't perform in the mech or do well in the mech. I can't win. I looked at my stats the other day. I pulled up my, like, stat page. I am 2 wins and 107 losses in that mech. And I have an average damage of 620, which is really high. Like, I'm doing well in it. It's just, I can't win. It is cursed by a gypsy.
Give me your tears, Gypsy.
Timo Koniecki on the tail of Steve Davidson. He's charged through the field by 9 spots up into 13th place from last. And Dennis Johnson is trying to get into 9th spot against Andrew D. They got a little bit of breathing room from James Butler. So it looks like Butler may have put a tire wrong and had a small incident. As he has made this 2-way, and it's no longer a 3-way. Johnson down the inside. That was a bad line from Andrew D. I think he's going to lose that 9th place. Johnson around the outside now. Can he get it done? Yes, he can. 9th place for Dennis Johnson as he and Tobias Theerolf and the Enchanted Grasshopper team try to get a championship. Sean Zulu is in the wall again. Still going, though. Still going, but drops down to 9th place, or 19th place. Comparatively, for the record, I have one mech that I can't seem to lose in, which I'm actually terrible in. So, you know, it kind of balances out, I guess.
Is it KV2?
No, it's a Warhawk 85-ton assault mech, and I am just garbage in it. It's slow as all hell, and it's slow as all hell, and I've set it up to be like a sniper, and it just doesn't work for me. But it's kind of... It's the mech. Well, no, I'm farsighted actually. It's the mech that I'm just like I'm trying to teach myself to snipe in it. It's not working, but it keeps winning. I was looking at its numbers the other day, and it was it's 37-10. So like, it's doing great. Doing great. If you ever see me on your team in a Warhawk, you know you're gonna win. You also know that I'm gonna do about 80 damage. And be the first or second one dead. Right side in the Warhawk Dome. Was playing it the other night and killed Nilo, so, you know, that makes me feel better. Makes me feel better that even in my worst build, I could still kill Nilo.
I think you could probably just take a Volkswagen Beetle out there and kill him.
Probably.
Not even armed. Just drive it into the toe of his mech.
Adam Komorowski trying to get past Mauricio Delgado. They've been at this for a while for 15th place. And Butler is right up on the back of Andrew D. Another long-time ESR rivalry there for 10th place. Adam Komorowski trying to sweep past Mauricio. Mauricio's having a good day for 15th place. How far down does the points in this series go again? Long way. I think everybody scores, actually. Now that I'm looking at this, I think everybody scores.
Participation trophy time.
Well, no. I'm looking far enough down, and there's a driver named Marvin Derby who finished the race without scoring any points, but like he finished in 30th place. So I'm thinking it's like maybe top 25 probably score. Oh no, P22 doesn't score, so Foster might not. I'm not getting this point system that that they are using here, but say love you. Timo Koniecki on the tail of Steve Davidson, trying to get that 12th place away from him. By the way, Tobias Thirov, we haven't really talked about him at all, and it's because he's 11 seconds ahead of everybody. Top 10 outside of the battle between D and Butler is fairly spread out right now. Not ridiculously so. We got 19 minutes to go. Plenty of time to... Whoa, Mauricio. Big spin. That'll lose him out to Komorowski as well as Skotnick. Been kind of a bad day for the Yellow Submarine team outside of Koniecki, who's been making steady headway through the field. We've seen Delgado in the wall and Sean Zulu in the wall a couple of times.
Hey, Zulu.
Zulu. You and Mauricio need to prevail upon like Justin Swan to make you guys a charcuterie board car for ACC. Thierolf leading the way from Carroll, Simmons, Jerome, Edmonds, Hendricks, Kazchuk, Darnell, Johnson, and D. Those are top 10. We have a little over a third of race distance to go. Also, just realized I'm double recording what we're doing right now. Because my record on TeamSpeak button is the same as OBS, and OBS was open. So I'm making a video of this as well now.
It'll be a secret video. We'll
I think it's literally just my MMA podcast background with us talking over it. So there you go.
We're going to put it out on a secret YouTube channel. And if you find it, you win the ability to go to someplace and buy a can of anchovies.
You win the ability to hear Byron scream as the goose sticks his claws into him.
Pretty much. Such is life.
Timo Well, Konietzki still on the attack against Steve Davidson. He's been my driver of the day for sure. Started dead last, and he almost got 12th place right there, going around the outside of Steve Dave. May yet get it still, actually. He is going to get it. Wow. That was an overtake and a half. Wow. And Steve Dave's a good driver. Fair, but like, a quality wheel-to-wheel guy. So that's a hell of an overtake by Konietzki. Josiah Jerome still within striking distance of getting on the podium, within a second of Max Simmons. And a slow-moving Konietzki loses out to not only Steve Davidson, but also Jeb Sparks, who we have not said the name of a lot today at all. He's had a solid race. He's in 13th place. But it's been a bit of a quiet day. But now he's on the attack against Steve Davidson.
There's only 1/1,000,000th of an hour behind him.
Down the inside. And he's got it. Davidson went very wide there. I wonder if Steve is having some problems with the handling of his car. He's gotten wide a couple of times. Jeb Sparks has promoted himself to 12th. He's had a solid run throughout this series. P5 back at Suzuka was his best result. He's also had 2 other top 10s. And Davidson losing out to Konietzki as well. Something has to be wrong with Steve's car right now. He just seems to have no pace whatsoever.
He's down to only 4 wheels.
Dennis Johnson. Dennis has not been around for a while. He attended the Watkins Glen round as well as the Mid-Ohio round. Ironically, he's attended the 2 American rounds and none of the rounds outside of the United States. It's almost like he's role-playing the low-budget American racer in this series. But he's done well. He's had podiums at both, but 3rd place in race 2 at Watkins Glen and 2nd at Mid-Ohio. Also had another top 10 at Mid-Ohio with 6th place. So he's had a good... When he's been here, he's been a top-notch competitor. Just doesn't necessarily have the attendance. Shout out to Andy Foster and Fatis Zizoglu, who are still running in the race, though. They're both nowhere near anybody, as Johnson makes the overtake on Andy Darnell there for 8th place. They're nowhere near anybody. They're like 20-plus seconds adrift. But they're still out there. They're still turning laps. And that kind of gumption and fortitude is respectable and laudable. Sean Zulu's caught up to Taka Mariuka as he is trying to climb back through the field. He qualified in the top 10 and, of course, have just had a super rough day. He would love to at least get up to 18th here, and he's going to do that down the inside there of Taka. Not much happening towards the front. Tobias continues to pull away, and everyone else more or less is just kind of pacing each other right now. Looking at probably 7 more laps around the circuit here.
7 more laps. They'll never make it. The tires will explode. The engines will expire. The roll cages will melt.
I hope they make it. Serge Hendricks looking for a top 5 here today. Has he had a top 5 this series? He has. He was P4 back at Watkins Glen Race 2. He has had a couple of top 10s and one top 5 throughout this series.
And 3 chicken dinners.
But this is perhaps the most competitive he's looked. Particularly over a long, like in the longer race format. As they make their way past, it's got to be Andy Foster. I don't recognize the livery when you're lapping somebody, so I think that's Foster. His car does not appear to be handling well. Very wide in some of the corners. So,
might I recommend just getting a wider car?
Well, it wouldn't help him because he's in last place. You know, being wide and defensive is only good if you're actually ahead of people. Timo Konietzki continue to try to chase down Jeb Sparks for 12th place. He's made 9 places here today, having started dead last.
Golder to Jib. I heard that Timo Konietzki was once a stay-at-home astronaut.
How would that work?
Well, I mean, it's not that much work. You just stay at home.
I see.
As a former retired stay-at-home astronaut myself, works out kind of nice.
Gotcha. I don't know why I thought of the Donald Glover scene where he is explaining his plan to use the rocket to refuel the supplies for the mission in the Martian.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Where he bounces the pen off of the lady's head.
Rich Purnell is a steely-eyed missile man.
If you're going to be doing secret missions with code names, I would prefer to be known as Glorfin.
Correct.
He keeps trying to get me to call him Captain Blondebeard.
Well, I mean, technically.
Yeah, he explained it. And of course, the best scene in the whole thing, he thinks we left him out there. Thinks we left him out there. What does that do to a man psychologically? Like, what is he thinking? Cue over to Mars. I am going to die up here if I have to listen to any more disco music. Turn the heat around. No, I will not turn the heat around.
I like the part in the book where they're interviewing, I can't remember who, and one of them's like, what about, like, they've made contact, all that good stuff. They're like, what about his request for sending, quote, oh God, please, anything other than disco?
Oh, big spin for Mauricio.
Mauricio, you're supposed to do that with the platter so you can get at the cheese on the other side. You're not supposed to do that.
Might have been a collision with Sean Zulu there. He was in the shot there as he went through. The disco music story plot line was a bit weird, just because I just got the feeling that it was way too late for the commander to have been really into disco. But
Not really. Mike, are you not into disco? Is that what you're saying?
not really.
Wow, judgmental. First, your car body shaming.
I don't judge. Like, if you're into disco, that's cool. I'm just not.
Just because you are unable to turn the beat around or anything else because your legs don't work.
That's true.
There's no reason to be hating on other people.
On board with Serge Hendricks as he stalks Martin. Excuse me, I have to sneeze a bunch, so you may not hear from me for a little bit. Allergy season sucks.
I like how Sparks and Konietzny are driving the diametrically opposed cars.
The inverted color schemes. Konietzki looking down the inside. Sparks has got around the outside still covered. Oh, that's a Zoglu in the wall. Not really racing anybody. I was watching The Martian just to go through again, and someone was convinced the movie was not over yet because Sean B was still alive.
He doesn't die all the time.
It's like 50%.
Something like that. I don't know. So I think somebody did the math and it's like 43% or some weird number.
That is still abnormally high for
yeah.
At least an actor with, like, Sean Bean's, like, length of career. Like, obviously, if you, like, you're in, like, 10 movies and you're, like, generic henchman number 5. Yeah, sure. Your fatality rate's probably going to be high, but, like, he's a leading man. Of course, the joke largely is that playing Sharp and having Sharp survive, he used up all of his film work. Max Simmons might have a shot at second place here as time rolls down here. We've probably got about only 2 more laps to go. He is right on the tail of Leandro Carroll for second place. And in fact, he's going for an overtake now as we speak. And Carroll's not really fighting him for it, so I wonder, just a theory, Leandro, please feel free to, comment on this. Are you running low on fuel at this point? Because I don't know, that overtake just had the look of a lift and coast moment.
Actually, few.
Also, Simmons has, like, made up about 1.5 seconds on him in a relatively short period of time, and didn't really suggest that he could do that at any point. So, I don't know. I wonder if just a fuel miscalculation might be in play. Konietzki looking for the overtake on Sparks. No. Off onto the grass, and he'll actually lose a spot to Steve Davidson. Now to Kazchuk, putting the pressure on Serge Hendricks here in the late stages, trying to get that 6th place. Also trying to help out his teammate, Martin Edmonds, or at least I think they're teammates. They're usually teammates. Oh, they're not this time. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Martin's teammate this season is Raul Valoria, and Kazchuk is with Scott Nick. They start their last lap. A couple other battles going on. Nothing terribly heated, but some close spots. Carroll's still close to Simmons, losing ground though to Josiah Jerome. So Josiah trying to get up on a podium. Elsewhere, Konietzki is still close enough to maybe have a shot at Steve Davidson. And Andy Darnell is on the tail of Dennis Johnson, but it does feel like that's probably going to resolve itself in Johnson's favor.
Especially because he's bribed the stewards.
Oh, nothing to do with that. I mean, he has, but it's more just, he seems to be the faster guy right now. Josiah Jerome up on the tail of a podium position here against Leandro Carroll, who I still hypothesize might be struggling with fuel right now.
He's been huffing it.
Oh, never mind. Andy Darnell is right on Johnson's back. So that is not over by a long shot. Checker flag is out. Tobias Thierolf is your winner. Really wasn't any doubt from about 5 minutes in that was probably going to be the case. And across the line, Martin Edmonds taking 5th place ahead of Hendricks and Kaschuk. Johnson hangs on against Darnell. James Butler rounds off the top 10. 11th place for Andrew D. Time 12th place is Jeb Sparks, and he'll keep that. There he is. He's over the line. Steve Davidson also, as well as Timo Konietzki. Mauricio into the barrier. Scott Nick, 16th place. And it was a rough day, but Sean Zulu will bring it home in 17th after starting in 9th place. So he probably had top 10 pace today, but he couldn't keep it clean, couldn't keep it on the track, had a couple of run-ins with the wall, and, it was damage limitations for him. And here comes Taka Mariuka, 18th place. And some celebration donuts going on the backstretch. Andy Foster across the line in last place. So Thierolf wins the day from Max Simmons and also gets the fastest lap. Leandro Carroll in third, pardon me. He'll probably take second overall. Yep, I'm correct on that. We'll give the full rundown in a sec. Josiah Jerome, Martin Edmonds, Serge Hendricks, Magic Kaschuk, Dennis Johnson, Andy Darnell, James Butler, Andrew D, Jeb Sparks, Steve Davidson, Timo Konietzki, Adam Komarowski, Scott Nick, Sean Zulu, Takahide Mariuka, Mauricio Delgado, Fotis Suzuka, Andy Foster finishing today. We lost Bertrand Barrier on the way. Championship standings. And the final championship standings, pending final stewarding. Tobias Thierolf, your champion on 378 points, ahead of Leandro Carroll on 293. Martin Edmonds is in third with 276. 230 for Laissez Passer. 223 for Andrew D. And rounding off the top 10, Max Simmons, Magic Kaschuk, Antonio Costa, Bertrand Barrier, and Steve Davidson. Teams championship winners, the Enchanted Grasshoppers, Tobias Thierolf and Dennis Johnson, who scored 101 points today, by the way, which is the most any team has scored in a single race over the course of the campaign. They win the championship on 496 points ahead of the Classic Manatees, which is Leandro Carroll and Steve Davidson, 462. 393 for the Maple Bulls, that is Raul Valoria and Martin Edmonds. And rounding off the top 5 is the Ancient Beluga Whales, Serge Hendricks and Antonio Costa. The Lucky Ostriches, Magic Kaschuk and Scott Nick. And then rounding off the top 10, we have the Heavenly Punks, Later Equins, Invisible, the Fabulous Yetis, which is totally your team, Byron. The Earnest Baboons, and the Loyal Pigs. Your top 10. So, Byron, We say goodbye to the MX5 series. Do you have any final thoughts?
I would like to send a shout out to Nick Cannon for celebrating Father's Month.